Well, good morning, everyone. I'm off to the range. Today is personal protection in the home. So this is an NRA course that I'm interested in teaching. And as with all the other NRA courses, if you want to be an instructor, you have to first take the course. So that's my goal today, is to take personal protection in the home. And I'm going to knock that out, and then a couple weeks from now I'll be taking the instructor course for that to get my instructor certification in that particular course, and then I'll be able to teach it to you, my friends, my family, and other people who are interested in learning how to defend their homes and themselves. So this is a good course because, in my opinion, not everybody is going to be carrying a concealed weapon out and about. Not everybody's going to be seeking their concealed carry permit, and in a lot of places, welcome to Maryland, it's not impossible to do, but there's so much red tape, cost, and time involved that most people don't try. So I'm going to encourage everyone to try. That's one of my missions in life right now, is to encourage people who want to pursue that freedom, the Second Amendment right to protect yourself and your family. I want to encourage people to pursue that. I don't want them to give up just because everybody else says it's impossible or it's too hard. So actually, I didn't do it for a long time because everybody said, it's impossible. So what I think is great about personal protection in the home is, because not everybody is capable or willing to carry a firearm concealed in public, there's a lot more people who are interested in protecting themselves in their own home, their castle, their dominion. So that's what this course is about. So I'm going to go learn it and then be able to teach it. First, though, Starbucks, super important. Every training day, one of the most important things to do is fuel your brain, for me, with some caffeine. Love me some morning coffee. I also love the fact that they started putting Starbucks into grocery stores. Man, that made things super convenient. All right, I have my nectar from the gods, and I am off to get some training in. I got about an hour, maybe an hour and a half on the road with this weather. So yeah, here we go. Listen to this song. Make it rain. Make it rain. Make it rain. I don't think that this is what they meant. It's really raining outside. All right, guys, so I just finished the course, and I wanted to sort of talk to you about it. Now, I didn't take the camera inside because, I want to be respectful of the person holding the course. I could have got permission to do that, but it doesn't really matter. And what I don't want to happen is, I know you guys, I know the internet, and more time will be spent critiquing what that instructor did or didn't do, or how he taught, or what the facilities were like. I didn't want that to be a part of this discussion. So what did I think of the course overall? I thought it was very interesting. There wasn't anything that I haven't already heard before, which is good, I guess. Keep in mind, I'm an ex-law enforcement officer, and I've taken several defensive pistol training courses. So basic firearm fundamentals and basic combat or defensive marksmanship concepts are definitely not new to me. But it was interesting to see sort of the NRA take on things like, you know, the basic rules of firearm safety, for example. Most people teach 4. NRA uses the first 3, doesn't include the 4th one, but then later on has the 4th one as the first rule in a separate set that totals 12 when you add them all up. A little strange, but I mean, it's just how they decided to break the concept up is just slightly different than what I was used to. Let's see, we covered from shooting once we did the range side, which, by the way, it's still raining. It's been raining all day. Fortunately for me, the range was an outdoor range, but the shooting line was indoor. This is very nice. So yeah, I really liked that idea. So I got to stay dry other than changing targets. Let's see, so one of the things they had us do, which is a useful exercise for anyone to do, and that is understand the concept of flash sight alignment. I've always called it sort of combat sight alignment, but the point being is that you don't need precision sight alignment between your front and rear sights when you're in a defensive shooting situation. This isn't bullseye shooting. You're not looking for pinpoint accuracy. What you're looking for is good enough to get the bullet on target. And on target, I mean within the logical defensive group range, you know, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So, in order to sort of demonstrate how you can be close enough and still on target, they have you intentionally shoot with your front sight misaligned in 4 quadrants, to the left, to the right, up, and down. Your rear sight is sort of aligned with your target, and then your front sight is sort of shifted as you shoot a couple rounds here, a couple rounds there. And what you end up with when you're done, and you realize all your hits are still on target. And by the way, our shooting range was 21 feet, 7 yards. But all of your rounds are still on target, even though your sights were intentionally not aligned at all. So it goes to help reinforce the idea that if you can get it good enough, it doesn't have to be perfect, it's just got to be good enough to get a bullet down range, you'll be much faster. And having a confidence in that sort of prevents that paralysis as you try and perfectly align your sights. So that was an interesting exercise. I'm familiar with the concept, I've just never actually done it before. I have done it with my red dot. Actually, I have a video that I owe you guys showing how the red dot optic is parallax free, so I can do the same exercise, shoot in 4 corners, and I'm still hitting the target in the same place. But that's a different concept, different video. But it is worth going out on your own and seeing how, you know, misaligned your sights can be and still have decent, I call it combat accuracy, NRA calls it defensive accuracy. So that was interesting. We did some point shooting exercises. We did standing barricade, kneeling barricade. We did some scenarios where your gun is basically unloaded and you have to run to your gun, load your gun, and then, you know, engage a threat. We did some exercises where your gun is loaded, but it's maybe concealed under something, like if it was in a drawer or, you know, in a safe, and you had to get your loaded gun and then go engage the target. So a lot of interesting stuff, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. So moving forward, in a couple weeks, I'll be taking the instructor version of that course so that I can now teach it. One of the requirements of the NRA is that you have to take the course that you want to teach. So that's why I took the course today, so I can prepare to teach it. So with that said, if you're interested in taking this course and you're in Maryland, and I highly recommend it if you have a pistol in the home that you use for self-defense or defense of your family, then yeah, I would love to have an opportunity to maybe be your instructor. Or if you're not in Maryland, or you don't want to take it from me because you don't like me, which is totally understandable, I get it. You know, look for an NRA instructor, or look for a course, personal protection in the home, in your area. And you know, it's a 1-day, 8-hour course, well worth it. Great stuff, and is really the first civilian sort of focused defensive pistol course that you can take. The basic pistol course is fundamentals. It's about the guns themselves and how they operate, and the cartridge, and what makes it up, and you know, a little bit of maybe legal stuff, a little bit of accuracy fundamentals, and then you go out and you shoot a paper target. The personal protection in the home sort of transitions that into being more of a self-defense tool. That's really it. I just wanted to give you sort of a breakdown of what was going on with me. So yeah, still raining. Oh. These things, by the way, I picked these up, never had them before. I picked them up for a snack. This is like crack without consequence. These are oven roasted almonds with like a dark chocolate dusting. It's like healthy food disguised as junk food. Love it. These are awesome.